We're now on this wall that's going to hit in some parts well over 20%. Fortunately, this is just the promenade. Hey cycling community, this is Steve, Grusis the Cycling Greek, and episode 3 of the Race Weekend Season Opener. This is a combined field of the 60s and the 65s. We have about 8 in the 65 pluses, and there's probably about the same amount in the 60 pluses. Now, I tried to get them not to combine us, but combine us they did. After yesterday's road race, which showed me at the very least I have to lose 6 pounds, this course which has significant climbing in it, and where I got dropped early last year, and the 65 pluses which are significantly stronger than last year, and not to mention the 60 pluses, this was going to be a challenge to me. The question that I had was I even going to make it to the place where I got dropped last year? Pretty much from the beginning, we were, as you see now, strung out. And what was interesting was that it was not the 60s that was pushing the pace, it was the 65s. Not me though, nor was it my teammate Steve M. He's a flatland guy. There's no reason why he would want to push it on these climbs. In yesterday's road race, which was much flatter, and I'll have that video linked in the description below if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. We had tactics that we executed, and we executed it well. Our tactics for this race was purely survival. My plan was to have the smallest normalized power possible. In other words, I was going to do as little work as I can and still stay up with the pack for as long as I could. My teammate Steve, he pretty much had the same idea. If you're not familiar with the course, there are a lot of ups and downs in the first half. Then there's this big wall about a mile or so at about mile 55. About 10 kilometers later, you hit the 1K to go sign, and then it gets steep. And after it gets steep, you finish on a wall. After the turnaround at the 10-mile mark, we head back around Pine Flat Lake. Now we're on the climbing section, but for whatever reason, these climbs are very favorable to me. I seem to float up these, relatively speaking. Ever since the turnaround, I make sure I'm toward the front, just in case anything happens I can react quicker. Now, the people pushing the pace up here, or keeping it steady, it's still the 65 plus group. 60 pluses are happy to be riding wheels. After a whole bunch of climbing, I am now at the same place where I got dropped last year. If you look up ahead, you'll see a curve to the left. Right after that is a major descent. I was so reamed that I didn't even bother doing that. I just went back to the cars. But lo and behold, I made it. I made it over through these guys, and then we started the descent. Now, some of these guys saw the descent as an opportunity to get away, and justifiably so. While this was not a switchback type of descent, there were some major curves, actually quite a few major curves, where you had to be careful on how fast you took those curves. While I'm not the same crazy descender back when I was in my young cycling Greek days, I was going just fast enough where I could filter back, catch people's wheels, get a little bit of better draft, hang on to another guy's wheel at the bottom, and get pulled in back and connected with the group. I've jumped way ahead now. We've passed the flatlands, we've passed a couple of stinger hills, and now we're heading toward the climbs. This is kind of like this is still flat, but it's getting to a false flat section. And we've had some attacks, and my legs are starting to show the efforts of the day and the day before. So if you notice, I'm just begging for wheels just so I can get pulled up. With that other rider that just took off, I pull a total dick move and I jump from these guys, and I'm trying to go after him. I need to get on his wheel so he can pull me up to the others, but you know, that's not happening so easy right now. I'm starting to slow, and eventually the others, well, they catch up to me. Just a little while later, and to my surprise, we actually catch up with them, so we reconnect. And again I say, lo and behold, I'm still with the main pack. What I now have to look forward to is more undulations, uphill to the corral, turn right, more undulations, and get to the 1 mile wall. And that's just with 7 miles to go. Why did I sign up for this race? 1, to test myself. 2, to support Bello Promo. And 3, this race is local. Now, let's talk about what happened to my teammate Steve. Steve lost contact, basically where I lost contact last year. Now, he is a strong flatland rider, so he was expecting to make the descent and then connect with us. But we went down the descent so fast that by the time he got there, we were nowhere in sight. After a bit of time, We're approaching a small climb, and there's an attack by a 60 plus. I'm a 65 plus, so I wasn't worrying about it until the guy in front of me, who's a 65 plus also, goes after him. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm actually hoping that the guy in front of me just keeps on rolling and catches up, but there goes Steve Clifton. He's a 65 plus. He took second yesterday. I have got to go after this. Pretty much I'm putting everything into this. I don't know who's behind me. I don't care. I just need to get up to these guys. I'm hoping I don't crap out on this climb. And for the third time in this video I say, lo and behold, I make connection with these guys, but I get countered. Then everyone else starts to go. I'm in Sucksville. Again I chase, but I tell you, I'm running out of bananas. They seem so close. A rider comes up and I'm thinking, great, I'm going to get his wheel and then I'm going to go after them. But he's not doing so well either. And the rest of them, they're just slowly moving faster than we are. Now, we aren't the only two. There's at least 2 others, maybe 3 others in back of me. I don't know how, but we keep after it. And then, for the 4th time in this race, I get to say, lo and behold, I made it up to these guys again. I think at this point I pull another dick move and I jump away from the group. And then I make it up to this group. Now, the others actually did make it up because these guys have slowed up a bit, and I don't know why they slowed up. Maybe they're just not working together well. Sometime later, we hit that last significant climb before we take that right turn at the corral. Again, the pace is getting pushed, and then I start to come off slowly. I keep the pace up, but man, there's still more climb left, and I'm even losing more distance. My plan is to find a wheel and crest with somebody so I'm not alone when I get over the top. And so far, it looks like I'm going to have 2 wheels. Let's see if I can reconnect once again. Momentarily, I think about my teammate Steve M. He's back there. He's not one to give up. He's just completing this course. So I figure with 8 starters, the worst place I can get is 7th. I have no idea how many are in front of me, how many are behind me. As far as I'm aware, we're down to a group of 3. One is trying to get away, but while he does stay away for a bit, we pull him back in. Actually, I found out later on that there were 4 of us. And then there were 3 of us. Then there were 2 of us. Then, unfortunately, it was just me. Not because I was ahead, my legs just couldn't turn over those pedals like I needed them to. Jumping ahead quite a bit, it's now half a kilometer to go. On that steep 1-mile wall called Wildcat, I got connected with a 60 plus who had caught up to me. He was part of the group of 4 that we were originally in. I was suffering. I got to rest a little bit on the descents, and now we're vying for the finish. He's up there, I'm back here. I'm trying to rest my legs as much as I can while under pressure. But while we're heading to the finish, this has been a good weekend for me, particularly this race. I was totally surprised I didn't get dropped earlier, in spite of the fact that I'm now at racing age of 69 and I have to deal with all these young, damn 65-year-olds. I did pretty good today. I'll have the Strava for this race in the description below. I'll also have episodes 1 and 2 of the opening race weekend. Okay, so now I somehow got a little bit of energy. I know that the finish is soon. I am coming up to him and I'm hoping to blast right by him. Keep in mind, I'm using the word blast very loosely. It appears no attempt at blasting is happening. I'm probably just sitting here just talking to him for a little bit. Okay, I can't think of that many things to say, so I'm going to speed this thing up. Apparently it killed my legs to work up to him, so now he just takes off. I am trying to encourage my legs to go faster. I don't know what that means, but what actually happens is my legs acquire a few Mario-style bananas of energy, and I go after him. You guys just couldn't keep quiet. You couldn't keep quiet. Good job, guys. Oh man, that was tough, but that was good. I did much better than I thought I'd do on this course. And they combined this with the 60 plus. So, yay me. I mean, I got dropped before the corral, but last year I got dropped much sooner. Training's paying off. All right, I have a lot of video to download and to develop and so forth. I was supposed to get episode 2 out yesterday, but maybe I'll get it out today. And then 3, who knows? Episode 3 will be later on this week. All right, you know the drill. And I hope you like this, because I need likes, need subscriptions. All right, you know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm so tired. The Cycling Greek.